Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going to talk about use effect and its use cases. We have already seen use state in our previous video. Here also we will use state, but our main target is to complete all the basics and concepts of use effect. Okay, so first of all we will start with use state. So this is the simple component I have right now, and this will display hello world. When I run this, you can see this is the output. Okay, first of all we will create a simple uh, state, that is count, and then set count. I will use state to create this. Okay, now here inside the JSX I will just print the count is the count variable. Okay, let's format it. Other thing is I will just put one break, and then I will also put a button on click. Let's say I want to update. I want to call this function update count, and click me is the text on that button. So we have not yet started with the use effect. We are just using the uh, use effect, sorry, use state right now. So I'm creating a new function called update count, and then here I will update the count by calling set count and count plus 1. Okay, let me just format it again, save it. Now let's see the output. So here you can see we have count is 0. Click me. Once I start clicking on it, it will increment the count. So this small application is working fine. Now let's understand uh, how this use effect works. Okay, so let's say, so first of all understand the use effect syntax. So this is the syntax of use effect. So it is a function, okay, which takes two parameters. First is the callback function. So I will write arrow function here. Okay, and the second one is the dependency. Okay, now let's understand here. In this case, see, this is a simple use effect hook. Okay, first case is when we do not specify any dependencies over here. We can remove this particular parameter, and let me write console.log, then inside use effect. Okay, now let's run it. I have saved it. I'm refreshing it. You can see inside use effect. Okay, now once I start clicking on this button, what will happen? Let's see. Can you see? Whenever I'm clicking on the button, it is also going inside the use effect and executing the function. Okay, and logging the statement every time whenever I'm clicking here. Why it is happening? It is happening because we have not specified any dependency array. So every time when this particular component re-renders, it goes and execute this function. Okay, so this is first case. So it is like not using the use effect. Let me just format it and refresh it. Okay, I'm clicking here, you can see same behavior. Okay, so there is no proper use of use effect here. So how we can use it properly? Let's add a dependency. Okay, dependency array actually. So here I will put a comma and then the dependency array. In this case, what it signifies is it will be called only once when our component will load. Okay, and after that, even if we change the state of the uh, any variable, it will not go inside this use effect function. Let's try it. I refreshed it. Okay, you can see first time it has been called. From second time onwards, count is increasing, state is changing, but we are not getting any logs. Okay, so this is the second use case. First one was without parameter. Okay, without actually second parameter, that is dependency. Second one is uh, with dependencies, but we have not specified anything inside this array. Okay, so now let's say you want, there is something which is dependent on, means we want to execute this function. Okay, this particular function when there is a change in the state. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are changing the count. So let me specify dependency as count. Okay, so now when I refresh it, first time it is executed. Whenever now I will change the count, it will also go inside this use effect and it will execute the function. You can see here, right? Because what we are saying here, whenever there is a update in count, you have to execute this particular function, actually this particular function. Okay, and how we can check this, means it is happening with the count only. We can create another variable. Okay, for example name, and then set name. So I'm giving name as John. Okay, and let's say we have another button. We have this button on click. I will write some function, but update name. Okay, and then here also update name. We can write inline function, but let's keep it outside for now. Const update name, and then here arrow function set name. I will put Mike. Okay, and then here also name is name, and also I will put br here. Okay, so let's see how the output is looking now. Okay, fine. Now let's see. Here I'm clicking on count. Okay, and we have given the dependency as count. So when I'm clicking it, you can see the this particular count is increasing. Okay, it is 5 here, also 5. When I click on this one, it is 6. Now let's see when we update the name, what happens. Name is updated to Mike. Okay, but dependency, it is not going inside the uh, use effect. We can just change it. Let's say I'm just instead of count, I'm putting name over here. Okay, so it will be very clear. So you can see it is inside the use effect currently, when I'm clicking here on count, it is not going inside the use effect. Okay, because we have not specified count over here. Okay, and we are only changing the count currently by calling this function here. But see this here, see in this console, okay, only one use effect is there. Now when I click on update name, you will see it came here, right? So what is happening is whenever we are changing the name, okay, it is coming inside it. And you can see again, when I'm clicking on update name, okay, it is not calling it again because the previous value and the current values both are same. Okay, so name, we are hard coding the name. Okay, so in this case the mic we have already set, and the new name is also mic. That is why it is not calling the this particular function. What I can do is, let's say I can do plus new date, new date, and then dot uh, get milliseconds, let's say. Okay, and I will just add it here so that every time we will get a new name. Let's refresh. So it is John. I'm clicking here, you can see it is not coming inside it. You can see inside use effect. Again I'm updating it. You can see now every time whenever we have a new value, it will go inside use effect and it will execute the function, callback function. Okay, so this is the second variant. Please let me know if you are not able to understand it. I think I have explained it properly, but still if you have any confusion, just let me know in comments. Okay, so this is the um I would say third variant. First one was without the second parameter. Second one was with blank array that was getting called only once. Third one is with the dependencies. Okay, so whenever there is a change in the state and that state variable is assigned in the dependency array, then this callback function will execute. And one more thing is there which we normally use uh, for example, if we are adding any uh, event uh, handlers, right? Or we want to remove it when we unmount our component. So in case of unmounting, we return another function from here, and here we write our unmounting code. Okay, so let's say you want to clear some data, some connection, or remove the um, handlers, event handlers, right? So those type of things you can do here. So once this component will unmount, this code will be executed, and it will remove all those stuff from here. So again, if you are not able to understand this unmount thing, then just comment. I will let you know how we implement it. But this is mainly for uh, this is like a cleanup function. Okay, so once if you want to perform some cleanup when we unmount this component, you can write that code over here. Okay, so I hope this code is clear, and I have explained use effect in very uh, I think good way. So let me know if still you have some confusion. I will give you some more details. Okay, now let's consider some other example over here, right? So whenever we want to make any service call, okay, so which type of variant we will use of use effect? So use effect here. Okay, if you are also confused about the syntax, it is pretty simple. Use effect is a function, so just write a function. Okay, provide a callback, this is the callback, and then dependency array. So here, if you want to make a service call, okay, we want to fetch data from the API, we have a API endpoint, then we can definitely use this type of pattern where it will be called only once, and once we get the data we can set that data into the state. So we will cover that particular case in different video. Okay, but here you can just write uh, fetch API and get the data and set into the state. Other important point is use effect is executed when our entire components get rendered. Okay, so for example, um, let's say we have, I'm just giving you some example here. Okay, so let's say we have a div here. Okay, this div has id as some id, uh, let's say div1. Okay, and here I have some value, not div actually, let's say do it input, id is input 1 and then input. I'll put a breakpoint. Okay, I will give a space, line space, and when we see it, here we have, right? Now here what we can do is we can directly write, let's say this is a functional component right here. So what I can do is I can do document dot get element by id, and I can give the id as input 1 dot value, right, is equal to 20. Now let's see. Okay, when I refresh it, what it is saying is it will give us the error, cannot set properties of null. Okay, so what is happening is we are trying to set the value before it's get rendered. So if you are thinking that I have written this code in first line, then let me write it over here. Okay, let me refresh. You can see still we are getting that error, right? We are trying to set the value where this particular thing is null. Okay, so in this case what we can do is we can move this code inside use effect. So when this use effect will be called when our entire components get rendered, so at that time input will be available, and after that this particular code will execute and it will set the value to 20. Let's refresh. You can see we don't have any error now and the value is 20. So I hope you got the idea and the concept of use effect. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.